Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. It is now week 7 in the NFL, so we're back with my weekly NFL predictions. If you enjoy the content, make sure you do like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. I'm hoping to reach 1,000 subscribers before the end of 2025, so if you can help me towards that goal, I would greatly appreciate it. With that said, let's get to my week 5 picks, and as always, we start with the previous week recap, and not as bad as week 6. So yeah, definitely better than week 6 for sure. Giants beat the Eagles. I think that was kind of a shocker to most people. Broncos beat the Jets. Colts beat the Cardinals. Yeah, Cardinals, man. Even with their backup, they were still in that game. Chargers beat the Dolphins. Yeah, Dolphins, kind of just a shit show at this point. Patriots beat the Saints. Steelers beat the Browns. Browns are just... I was on the wrong side of that one. I thought the Browns were going to play a lot better. They played just as bad as they always have. Panthers beat the Cowboys. Yeah, Cowboys. It seemed like it was going to be a boat race for a little while there, but Cowboys really slowed down in the fourth quarter. My Seahawks beat the Jags. Yeah, I was expecting this to happen. Seahawks are a different breed when they're on the road, which doesn't make sense because Lumen Field is a cheat code of an advantage sometimes. Rams beat the Ravens. Yeah, Ravens just don't have an answer at backup quarterback. Raiders beat the Titans. Packers beat the Bengals. Bengals, even with Joe Flacco, they look lackluster right now. Buccaneers beat the Niners. Niners are just so injured. So are the Bucks, but Bucks are getting dubs because of Baker, you know. Chiefs beat the Lions. Yeah, Lions just did not show up for this game. Falcons beat the Bills. Also, Bills just did not show up for this game. And Bears beat the Commanders. So, after all that, 9-6 on last week's predictions. Not too shabby. And after week 6, I am 54, 41, and 1. Not as good as last year at this point, but hey, it is what it is. And that does lead us into my top 5 NFL rankings. So don't forget, this is entirely my own opinion. And number 5, I do have the Lions. I think the Lions, when they play their A game, I don't think they can be beat. I really do not. I think Jared Goff plays extremely well. Jahmyr Gibbs plays extremely well, and their defense is very, very good. But when they don't bring their A game, they struggle like they did last week. They struggle like they did in week 1 against the Packers. So they have to come with their A game more often. But I still think the Lions are really, really good. Number 4, I do have the Broncos. Broncos are very, very good defensively, and I really don't have a lot of bad things to say about the Broncos. They play extremely good football. They play really, really good defense, very stingy defense. If their offense can figure it out, this team can make the playoffs and maybe make some noise, but their offense is what worries me the most. Number 3, I do have the Pittsburgh Steelers. So Pittsburgh, what can you say? They get dubs. They play extremely annoying football, and it works. Their defense is playing a lot better after the first 3 weeks of the season, and I like what I'm seeing from the Steelers right now. If their offense can continue to do enough, but we know what Aaron Rodgers looks like in the playoffs, so we will see. Number 2, I do have the Colts. I got to give the Colts the respect that they are due. They're playing extremely good football as well, and I really don't have any bad things to say about them. Their offense scores a lot of points. Their defense is hit and miss every once in a while, but they get stops when they need to, and they are extremely stingy as well. And that is our number 1 team being the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buccaneers are just the best team in football. They are so injured as well. Their top, I think, 3 or 4 wide receivers are out, and they are still scoring 30 on everybody's head. It is insane to watch. Baker is having an MVP type season. I love what I'm seeing from the Buccaneers. If they can get all their players back, this team is going to be disgusting come January. And the 2 teams that are on byes this week are the Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills. So neither of these 2 teams are playing. Hopefully they can get reinvigorated during this bye week. Bills need to figure their offense out, and the Ravens, they will get Lamar back after the bye. So fingers crossed for both of these teams. And that does lead us into Thursday night football. It is the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cincinnati Bengals. So for the Steelers, if they have mistake-free Aaron Rodgers, this team looks so phenomenal. They are playing extremely good football. I said it last week when I was talking about the Steelers. If you take DK away, I think this team struggles a lot. And I really like what I'm seeing from DK because he gets a majority of the catches for this team. So they just need to continue playing mistake-free. I really want to see this team against a really good defense. And we won't see it this week, but I really want to see what the Steelers team looks like against an actual contender. I'm not sure if the Steelers play the Chiefs this season, but I would love to see that just to see what the Steelers look like against a real team. I think this defense is elite, and there is no doubt about it. I think they had a slow start, but they've gotten their feet under them. They are playing extremely good football. I don't have a lot of bad things to say about the Steelers right now. As for the Bengals, Flacco is better, but not by much. He didn't have any turnovers last week, but they had an extremely, extremely slow first half. And I get it. Flacco got there that week, and he immediately started, but I think if they can continue having Flacco there until Joe is ready to come back, maybe you can get a couple of wins. It's just a real struggle bus for Cincinnati right now, and I'm very disappointed because I like what I see from the Bengals when they had Joe. For the most part, I think they still struggled quite a bit, but they always have slow starts at the beginning of the year, but they started 2-0, so it is what it is. Chase Brown, also, I know I say it is what it is a lot, so I will try to refrain from doing so, but Chase Brown, he has to be better. They are getting absolutely nothing from the run game here, and I do not like what I'm seeing. They need to figure out the run game. Chase Brown needs to be a contributing factor in order for this team to be successful. I think the offense will get a little bit better, though. I think this offense will start to step up, start to score more points. Just feed T. Higgins, feed Jamar Chase, and I think you will be just fine. But I think the Steelers' defense will be too much this week. I got the Steelers in this one. Steelers 24, Bengals 17. I do not think the Bengals will win this game at all. Now, moving over to the games on Sunday, we have our early morning London game. It is the LA Rams versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. So for the Rams, I was very unimpressed with their performance last week. Their offense looked super sluggish. Their defense was not doing much. And I just don't know what to make of this team. And it was against a Ravens team that was bad. The Ravens looked bad all this season. For pretty much the entire season so far, they look bad, and the Rams looked just as bad when they were going against them last week. So I was just very unimpressed with the Rams. I need them to step it up. Their run game has to get figured out. I've said it every single week. I don't think Kyron Williams is the answer, but Blake Corum also not the answer. So I don't know what they do at the running back, but you got to figure it out. And Puka Nacua is questionable with that ankle injury. I'm not sure if he's going to play. I'm leaning that he will play, but he is questionable right now, so that is going to hamper this Rams team a lot. As for the Jaguars, awful offensive line performance last week. They gave up 7 sacks to my Seahawks. It was a get-back game for the Seahawks, but Jags just looked awful with their offensive line. And they absolutely got nothing out of the run game either. And granted, the Seahawks defense is good. I don't care what anybody says. Seahawks defense is good, and they definitely showed up, and they made it in a point of emphasis to stop the run, and they did so. They put a cap on ETN, and he did not get anything. I think he had less than 30 yards rushing, so really good. Not good for the Jaguars. Their offensive line needs to figure it out so the run game can be a factor. This is a bounce-back game for them, and I do expect the Jaguars to win this game. I got the Jaguars 27, Rams 24. The Jags came off of beating the Chiefs. They were riding that high just to get Seattle prepared and ready to stop anything that they were trying to do. I expect the Jaguars to bounce back this week. I got the Jags 27, Rams 24. Jags for sure in this one, in my opinion. That does lead us into our early window games. On Sunday, we have the New Orleans Saints at the Chicago Bears. So for the Saints, I don't think Spencer Rattler is the problem here. I think the offensive play calling is very, very bad here. I do not like what I'm seeing. I do not understand why they don't feed Kamara more. I'm seeing the backup more often than I am seeing Kamara when I'm watching these games, and I just don't understand it. I think Kamara should be utilized more, especially in the pass game. He is a dangerous threat whenever he has the ball, so you need to figure out more ways to get Kamara the ball. And I think you also need to figure out ways to get Chris Olave the ball. He is a tremendous talent, and I know he's had injuries just because he's been getting hospital balls from Derek Carr for the last couple of seasons. But yeah, they need to figure it out. Figure out more ways to get Kamara and Olave involved, and I think this offense is going to be really good. Well, let me preface. I think they'll be serviceable. I don't think they'll be really good. Next is next is the Bears. I love the offensive play calling in the first half. And granted, you can say whatever you want about this Bears team. I think their offensive play calling, for the most part, is okay. And it's hit and miss for sure. But the first half, I really like it. This team needs to just keep it fun, make it quick passes, stop with the screens. Just stop with the screens. It does not work for this team. But I like what I'm seeing from the offense. I just need them to be more consistent about it. I think their defense plays extremely hungry, especially last week. They were going after Jaden a lot, ripping the ball out, and I love what I was seeing from the defense. I just need to see that consistently, and the offensive line will still be an issue. Caleb is still running for his life, and Caleb still holds on to the ball for too long. So they need to figure it out, but I think they will get it done against the Saints. I got the Bears 28, Saints 27. I expect the Bears to win this one, more than likely. Next is the Miami Dolphins at the Cleveland Browns. So for the Dolphins, turnovers are their biggest issue, and I'm not going to blame every single one of their interceptions on Tua, because sometimes it'll bounce off the receiver or it'll get tipped up and somebody picks it, but you got to stop with the turnovers. Catch the ball, stop putting the ball on the ground, and figure your shit out. Honestly, Achan is so hot and cold. He has a game where he's rushing for over 120 yards, and then the next week he's rushing for less than 60. I don't understand what to make of him. He's a great talent for sure, but I think he is just so weird for this team right now. And I think their defense is awful. Their defense is so bad. Their defensive line and linebackers cannot stop a single thing in the running game. So I don't know what to make of this Dolphins team. They just are not good. They are not good right now. And unfortunately, I'm pretty sure their coach will get fired if they lose this game. Next is the Browns. 52 pass attempts last week. 52 pass attempts last week. How are you letting your rookie quarterback throw it 52 times? Honestly, I don't hate their head coach, but you are awful at calling the games like this. I just do not understand what you guys are doing. Get Judkins involved. Get him the ball. I don't understand why you are passing it 52 times with a rookie. And I get it, you're trying to get him his sea legs under him so he can play better, but 52 pass attempts, what are we doing? It makes absolutely no sense. No sense at all. The offensive play calling is awful. I do not expect this team to do anything. Even against the Dolphins, I do not expect the Browns to win this game. Browns have not scored over 18 points this season. I do not expect them to do so this week just because what have you done to show me that you can score more than 18 points, Cleveland? I got the Dolphins 30, Browns 17. This game is a shit show. If you're watching this game, I feel bad for you, son. Next is the New England Patriots at the Tennessee Titans. So for the Patriots, you got to figure out the run game. It is awful to see. And Drake May is having a great year 2 thus far. I think he's probably top 7 in MVP voting right now. Tremendous. I love what I'm seeing from Drake May, but figure out the run game. You can only pass it for so long against better defenses. So you got to figure out the run game immediately. And, you know, when I'm right, I like to make sure I let everybody know. That's just my personality. So when Christian Gonzalez plays, this defense is different. They are so much better when Christian Gonzalez plays. And I love what I see when Christian Gonzalez is on the field for this team. He is very, very good. I expect him to continue being very, very good. Maybe it might be too soon because he missed a couple of games to call him Defensive Player of the Year, but I love what I see from Christian Gonzalez every single time he's on the field, and I'm always looking out for him whenever I'm watching the Patriots play. As for the Titans, oh man, I think firing their head coach was really good, and that's why I would call this game a trap game. In my opinion, this game is a trap game right now. So I would not bet on this game because you do not know what you're going to see from the Titans with their interim head coach. So be very careful if you're betting this game. But yeah, I think firing their head coach was a godsend. They were lucky that they got the one dub that they did against the Cardinals. But yeah, firing your head coach was very, very smart. I think they get absolutely nothing out of the run game, and I don't expect that to change. Their run game is very bad. I do not like Tony Pollard, in my opinion. He's probably a fine person in real life, but yeah, I do not like what I'm seeing from the run game at all. And the offensive play calling is just awful. So they need to figure that out immediately. Defense, I am way less worried about. This team is very young. They have some veterans on their team, but I need the offense to get figured out first. But I do not expect it to get figured out against the Patriots defense. I do have the Patriots in this one. Patriots 31, Titans 20. I do not expect the Titans to win this game. But like I said, this is a trap game. Be very careful betting on this game. Next is the Las Vegas Raiders at the Kansas City Chiefs. So for the Raiders, offensive line has to be better. If Geno is running for his damn life every single time, he's going to try to be Superman. And you need Geno to not be Superman because he's not Superman. He's Clark Kent. And that's okay because sometimes we need Clark Kent. So yeah, you just need Geno to take care of the ball. Offensive line has to be better in order to protect for Geno. I'm not sure how sustainable this is, but 23 carries for Genty. I love what I'm seeing. Keep Genty involved. He is one of the best talents you have on your offense. Keep getting him the ball in any way that you can. As for the Chiefs, it was a great Mahomes game last week, and I did see that he is now the favorite to win MVP, which is baffling to me. Are we not seeing what Baker's doing? Anyway, I won't get off on that tangent, but great game for Mahomes last week. I expect that to continue this week. I still do not like the run game here. I think Pacheco is just not having a good year, and I'm not impressed whatsoever from the run game, but I expect this team to figure it out as they continue going throughout the season. And they are getting Rashee Rice back this week, which is good for them. They will have another deep threat for this offense, and I do expect the Chiefs to win this one. I got the Chiefs 28, Raiders 20. Chiefs are just getting back to form right now. And unfortunately, I don't think the Raiders are going to contend very much in this game. Our next game is the Philadelphia Eagles at the Minnesota Vikings. So for the Eagles, well, I guess it's time you got to figure out your offensive line. I really do. It's awful, and you've lost 2 in a row. You lost to the Giants last week, and I just do not understand what the recipe for success for this offense is. In my opinion, I think you need to let go of your offensive coordinator, and you need to go back to the drawing board with a lot of the schematics that you are doing offensively, because whatever you're doing is not working. Get your wide receivers involved more. Get your running back involved more. I do not understand. Jalen Hurts cannot be missing wide open guys that often as well. And I understand that. I'm not saying everything is on the offensive coordinator, but I'd say probably 80% of it is on the offensive coordinator, and the rest is on Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has to figure it out. He is the Super Bowl MVP. You have to get your shit together immediately. And I don't understand why Zadarius Smith retired in the middle of the season. It just makes absolutely no sense. So enjoy retirement, buddy. As for the Vikings, they are fresh off a bye, which is really good for them. JJ McCarthy is back at practice this week, but still listed as questionable, so we will see if he does start. I'm leaning that he will not, and they will go one more week without him, but that's just what I'm thinking. I think this team needs to have more emphasis on the run game. I know Mason isn't my favorite running back, but he's serviceable, so I would continue to feed him. And unfortunately, I think the Eagles will lose 3 games in a row. I have the Vikings fresh off their bye. Vikings 27, Eagles 24. This one could go either way, though. Our next game is the Carolina Panthers at the New York Jets. So for the Panthers, never, ever, ever stop running the ball. Truly, I love what I'm seeing from the run game. Rico Dowdle having a generational 2-game stretch. It is insane what he is doing, and I love what I'm seeing. Continue to utilize him as much as you can, because he is just on a whole different level right now. So I love what I'm seeing for Rico. Continue feeding him the ball, please. Defensive line needs to get a little bit more pressure, but I'm somewhat impressed with what I'm seeing from the Panthers. So I just need them to continue doing what they're doing, which is having fun on offense, because that's what it looks like, and I love what I'm seeing. They need to keep utilizing McMillan. He finally got a touchdown pass, first one of his career, and he got 2 last week. So continue utilizing McMillan. He will be a true number 1 for this team. As for the Jets, 45 passing yards last week. 45. Justin Fields, you cannot be that bad. You cannot be that bad. And he was playing decently pretty much this entire season until last week. 45, ladies and gentlemen, 45 passing yards. How do you only have 45 passing yards? I really just do not understand. I think the Broncos defense is great, but 45 passing yards for an NFL team with an NFL quarterback, no. Absolutely not. That makes absolutely no sense. The offensive play calling here is dog shit. It is just bad. They need to figure their shit out. Their offensive play calling just does not work. Only scoring 11 points, and one of them was what was it? It was a safety, wasn't it? I just genuinely don't understand what this team's doing. Oh, it wasn't a safety. It was anyway. You need to score more than 11 damn points. The Jets defense finally showed up, but it didn't matter because their offense didn't show up. So you need a game where both of them show up, and then I don't know, maybe you'll get a win. I don't expect it to be this week, though. I got the Panthers 20, Jets 17. This is also a trap game. If you are a betting person, I would not bet on this game, because the Panthers might come back down to earth and the Jets might just surprise us. So we'll see. Opening up our late window, we do have the New York Giants at the Denver Broncos. So for the Giants, their D-line will thrive this week. I expect their D-line to be very, very good. They will be in the backfield quite often this week, and I am very excited to watch this game. Is this team really that good? Scatterbo is looking really good, and they need to keep feeding him, and I love what I'm seeing, but will we continue to see mistake-free, what's his name, Jackson Dart? I'm not too certain, especially against this really good Broncos defense. I'm very excited to watch this game. As for the Broncos, their defense will thrive this week. The offensive line for the Giants isn't my favorite, so I expect the defense to be in the backfield often, and I do expect them to pick off this rookie quarterback a lot. Well, I say a lot, like maybe once or twice, so which is a lot. So I'm excited to see this game, and I've said that multiple times. This is probably one of my favorite games of the week. They need to figure out their run game, though. I do not understand why J.K. Dobbins is so hit and miss. I really do not, but they need to figure out their run game in order for this team to have that long-term success that I expect this Broncos team to have now that we've seen them for 6 weeks. I do not understand how Courtland Sutton is not involved more. I think he's your number 1. It feels like he's your number 1. you need to figure out more ways to get him the ball. And I understand there's certain times where the ball is just bouncing off his hands, and I get it. But I think you need to get Courtland Sutton involved as much as you can. I do have the Broncos in this one, though. I got the Broncos 24, Giants 17. I do expect the Broncos to win this game, but this one should be a close one. Our next game is the Indianapolis Colts at the LA Chargers. So for the Colts, probably the most well-balanced offense in the league. Jonathan Taylor is having a great year. Keep feeding Jonathan Taylor. But honestly, I think this Colts offense is just really good. Daniel Jones is not making a lot of mistakes, and I like what I'm seeing. I can't really talk any shit on them. I think the defense still worries me a little bit with this team, so we'll see what they look like going forward, but defense is the only real question I have for this Colts team. As for the Chargers, so many injuries. It's just so sad to see. I want every single team to be at 100% because when I beat you, I want you to be at your best. That's how I see football. So I hate the injuries. I hate what I'm seeing here. I'm hopeful that they can get some of these players back, but I know their offensive line is very, very hampered. So we'll see. Herbert will continue having to be Superman, though. He will continue to have to be an MVP type quarterback in order for this team to be successful and make the playoffs, which we'll see if he has it in him. So far, he's been playing well. We'll see, though. I think this defense does have to play a lot better, though. This defense is very hit and miss, and they're giving up way too many points for my liking, especially for a Harbaugh coach team. So I definitely need them to figure their shit out, but I don't expect it to be this week. I got the Colts 35. I got the Colts 35, Chargers 31. This game is going to be a barn burner, and I'm very excited to watch it. The next game is the Washington Commanders at the Dallas Cowboys. So for the Commanders, I really, really do not like the offensive play calling here. It is awful to watch. It is really, really bad, and I do not understand how it's this bad. So you need to figure out your offensive play calling because it's just not good. The run game is too hot and cold, and I get it. You guys are very optimistic about this rookie running back. He's too hot and cold. I need to see more from this run game in order for this team to have that long-term success that they expect to have. And I expected the Commanders team to not be as good as they were last year, but you got to figure your shit out. And I just don't think this defense is good. Like, I think they're supposed to be good, but I'm just not seeing it this year. They're letting up way too many points. The run game is just not very easy for them to stop. I don't know. I don't know what to make of this Commanders defense right now. As for the Cowboys, their defense can't stop a thing. Their defense is bad. Their linebackers, their defensive line, they cannot stop the run whatsoever. Jerry Jones is a clown for saying that they were going to have a better run-stopping defense this year without Micah Parsons. No, absolutely not. Your defense is not good, and it will continue to not be good for the rest of the season. Dak Prescott can show you so many good moments, but he can only take you so far. So we will see. We will see how far Dak can take this team. I don't expect it to be very far. And Javonte Williams, man, he has to have more than 29 yards like he did this week. You have to get him the ball involved in the passing game. That way it opens up for the run game with him. And it's so annoying to watch these teams make weird mistakes or just do weird play calling things when me sitting on my couch being like, I can do better. So it is what it is. But yeah, there it is. I said the catchphrase. I do have the Commanders in this one though. I got the Commanders 30, Cowboys 28. I expect this game to be a barn burner because I expect the Cowboys to be in barn burners every single week for the rest of the season. Next game is the Green Bay Packers at the Arizona Cardinals. So for the Packers, I think when the offense shows up, this team is elite. I think their defense shows up pretty much every single week, except for that game against the Cowboys where it was a 40-40 tie. But if the defense plays all four quarters and the offense shows up, I think this team is unmatched. And I genuinely think they can win the Super Bowl if both of those things happen. But I expect it to not because that's kind of what we've seen so far this season. And never, ever stop feeding Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is so impressive whenever I'm watching him run the ball. I love what I'm seeing from him whenever he has the ball in his hands. Continue feeding Josh Jacobs. As for the Cardinals, Kyler is still questionable with that foot injury. I do not expect him to play this week. They will continue with Jacoby Brissett. And I don't like it. I don't like it. I know they scored 27 last week, but I still don't like it. And I think the injuries at the running back position for this team is starting to really hurt them. They cannot run the ball at all. And I think a run game is a backup quarterback's best friend. And I just don't see it for this team at all. And I think the defense is still serviceable. And I still like what I'm seeing, but I don't know. I think this team is just really weird. The vibe I'm feeling for this team is just not good. I don't like what I'm seeing from this Cardinals team. I do have the Packers in this one. I think the Packers defense will be too much for Jacoby Brissett. I got the Packers 27, Cardinals 20. And that leads us into Sunday Night Football. It is the Atlanta Falcons at the San Francisco 49ers. So for the Falcons, Bijan had a legacy game last week. I think he had 178 rushing yards last week. Insane. Insanely good game by Bijan. So I love what I saw. I hope we continue to see it. Bijan is a tremendous talent for this Falcons team. And I think when this team is mistake-free, they are really good. That 30-0 loss that they had against the Carolina Panthers really shook this team awake, and they are looking very, very good now. So I love what I'm seeing from this Atlanta Falcons team. I think the defense was great last week. I just need them to do it again and be consistently that good. So we'll see. As for the Niners, Purdy is still questionable. I'm not sure if he's going to be starting this week. I don't really think it matters. I think he and Mac are pretty parallel, in my opinion. But I just feel like more than half this roster is injured, and it really sucks. Like I said earlier, I want you to be at your best when I kick your ass. So it sucks that this Niners team is so injury-riddled, especially after last year, which I'll be honest, like I said, I like to let you guys know when I call shit correctly. I was right about last year, them being injured, and the football gods have not smiled upon them at all this season, so they got to make do with what they got. It really sucks. Half their roster is injured, and I don't expect their defense to be able to stop very many people without Fred Warner, arguably the best linebacker in the league, and Nick Bosa, which is arguably one of the best defensive ends in the entire league. You lose both of those players for the year, your defense is not going to be very good. I do have the Falcons in this one. I got the Falcons 30, 49ers 20. I just don't expect the Niners to be able to do much because I think the Falcons are going to be in control of this game for pretty much the majority of it. And that does lead us into Monday evening football because we have two games on Monday. So it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Detroit Lions. So for the Buccaneers, so many injuries, but Baker is playing like an MVP. I knew in the preseason when I saw that they had Tez Johnson, I genuinely did not understand it because they used their first round pick on Emeka Ibuka, and I was no fault there. I'm very impressed with that pick. But Tez was the number one receiver in Oregon when he was in college. So I don't understand how they got both of these tremendous talents, but I'm glad they did because Tez is looking very good in the absence of Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and now Emeka Ibuka. So continue doing it. They're thriving. And as soon as they get some of these players back, this team is going to be unbelievable on offense. I do want to see more out of this defense. They let up too many points for my liking. So I just need to see more out of this defense, get more stops, which I expect them to get it together for sure. Keep the offense unpredictable. I love what I'm seeing. Just this offense is so good. It is so good with Baker, and everything's working. If they can figure out the run game a little bit when Bucky Irving gets healthy, figure it out with Rachaad White. I was blanking on his name. If you can figure it out with these players, I think you guys are going to be really, really good. As for the Lions, too many empty possessions last week. And that's kind of what you get when you're trying to be too cute. When you're going forward on fourth down, when you are doing trick plays, when you're just doing weird, dumb shit. You're going to get bit every once in a while. And sometimes you get bit multiple times in a game, and that's what happened last week against the Chiefs. And that's why the score looked like it was kind of a blowout. But yeah, the Lions just, you can't have that many empty possessions at all. And I think the defense just isn't reacting fast enough. The Kansas City Chiefs like to get into your zone and immediately curl back every single time. That is all they do. That and quick slants. That's pretty much their entire offense. And the defense is just not reacting fast enough. So you have to get your shit together. Your secondary has to be better against these elite offenses, Detroit. I got the Buccaneers in this one, guys. I got the Buccaneers 28, Lions 27. I expect the Buccaneers to win this game because Baker is playing like a god right now. That leads us into Monday Night Football. It's the Houston Texans at my Seattle Seahawks. So for the Texans, they're fresh off a bye, which I really hate. It sucks that they're off a bye playing the Seahawks, but it is what it is. I still want to see more out of this run game for sure. I like Nick Chubb, and I understand he's coming off of an injury and he's with a new team, but I like what I see from Nick Chubb. I just need to see it more consistently. If they can keep CJ Stroud upright, I expect this team to continue to have success, but their offensive line is very bad. So we'll see about that one. As for my Seahawks, We have to be better on third down. It was awful last week. Every single time we got the third down, I think we converted maybe 1 or 2 third downs, and that is just not going to be good against elite defenses. So you need to get your shit together. So figure it out. If Sam Darnold continues playing this way, he will be in the MVP conversation continuing. And I like what I'm seeing from Sam. He's not a liability like I thought he would be. So I just need him to be a little bit more clutch in the 2 losses that we do have. We had the ball, able to score, and we had 2 turnovers, both by Sam Darnold. So I just need him to be clutch, and that's my only criticism of Sam Darnold right now. If our secondary gets healthy, I think it's our division to lose. I think if we can get Julian Love and if we can get Witherspoon back, I expect our defense to be a lot better than what we're seeing now. And our defensive line is insane. I love the schemes that Mike McDonald is running. It's just so unpredictable. You don't know who's going in the backfield to sack him, to sack the quarterback, and I love what I'm seeing. Unfortunately, because this game's at home and the Texans are coming off a bye, I do have the Texans in this one. I expect the Texans to win this game. Unfortunately, Texans 27, Seahawks 24. We'll see. I'm hoping the Seahawks can get their shit together at home, but we play better on the road, so we'll see. But that is my predictions for week 7. What did you guys think? Let me know your predictions. Let me know your favorite teams in the comment section down below. I would love to know that as well. But thank you all so much for watching. I will catch you guys in week 8.